Square say, Mare Zimbabwe, welcome to our channel Zim Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kana kari kutanga kukwepa nino channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Kana chungwa garoka subscriber, don't forget to comment and share this video. Nas Mare Zimbabwe takigrai, nyari kupisa, nyari kunetsa, nyari boditswa, na the Children of Zimbabwe War Veterans Association, ababuda vashitaura ivo, vachiti, stay away, yanasi ya flopa hanzi, but Mnangagwa hana kuzorora hanzi pane ma CIO adeploywa Mare Zimbabwe nema notebooks achirekoda ma businesses ese aterera the core ya Geza Mare Zimbabwe wabuda vachitaura vachiti the situation was calm across the country hanzi vanhu varamba vachicontinue ma day-to-day operations avo ma small cities hanzi zvakare yanga iri business as usual, but hanzi the CIO yawanikuwa achideploya vanhu vayo kuti wawanikuwa achirekodha mabusiness ese avhara achiteerera Geza. Tisingazivi kuti what's the next plan vapakuita sei nawo mabusinesses iwawa. There's a message yabuditswa paWhatsApp vachitaura vachiti stay away day 1. CIO deployed with notebooks to record businesses that yield to Geza score. Now the situation is calm across the country as people continue with their day-to-day operations. In small cities, as of now, it is business as usual. According to the Children of Zimbabwe War Veterans Association, whose informants are monitoring the situation, no uniformed forces deployment. However, Kozwa says its intelligence unit has picked up secret security intelligence officers deployed on every street with notebooks, recording all business outlets who are on stay away. Those are the Children of Zimbabwe War Veterans Association Mare Zimbabwe. Tisingazive kuti munoona sei nyaya iyi Mare Zimbabwe. Upo chimwana wabuda Mare Zimbabwe achitaura iye achiti the proposed indefinite stay away by Zimbabwe's war veterans leader Blessed Bombshell Geza has failed to take off. Zimbabweans, particularly in Bulawayo and Harare and other small towns, chose to go to work today. I see on social media that some citizens in the diaspora are angry with compatriots back home for going to work, but we should remember that Zimbabwe is 95% unemployment. So, if people do not go out to hustle, they will starve. So goes the argument. The idea that people would get food from retailers and wholesalers was Alice in Wonderland stuff. It was never going to work or happen in a country where most businesses are owned by the corrupt cabal that the action intended to remove or loosen its grip on power. Secondly, Zimbabweans want to be liberated from corrupt rule by a particular type of political group or politician. So, without the traditional opposition throwing its weight behind Geza's call, the efforts were always going to be in vain, even though they are noble and progressive. The failure of the stay away ends any immediate hope that citizens will participate in any liberation efforts unless mobilized by a traditional opposition which does not exist or by the military. I'll be blunt. Short of a military intervention to stop Emerson Mnangagwa's corrupt rule, you will not get everything he wants, including term extensions. He is relentless. Zimbabweans will now be stuck with Mnangagwa until the day he dies, and possibly we have to accept that his kids will rule them too, with the assistance of his crooked cronies and clansmen. Zimbabweans should forget about the 2028 elections and, as a local doctor mentioned on social media, begin working through the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. It is pointless. Putting your hopes in a process that you know too well will be rigged. For him to fail to achieve what he wants, Mnangagwa would have to make a catastrophic mistake, like killing loads of people, which will attract international scrutiny, or firing his Vice President General Constantino Chiwenga, which might finally trigger a decisive response. There is now nobody with the capacity to stop him, short of military intervention or death. Geza has tried, but there is no tangible citizen support that was forthcoming. Geza managed to force Mnangagwa's team to stop chanting the 2030 slogan and push them into another plan to bribing MPs with illegal parceling land. But after today, the dictator knows that Geza is now all alone. Unless the military intervenes, which, as I have said before, is now looking highly unlikely, unless they are provoked by the continued conspicuous consumption of looted public funds. So, Zimbabweans must now accept the reality that their failure to sacrifice for their liberation by simply staying at home will mean more unemployment, more looting of public funds, more dilapidated hospital and public infrastructure, and more economic pain all around. Those are the grim political and socio-economic realities of Zimbabwe going forward. Nothing less, nothing more. Journalists will continue writing about corruption scandals, but only for historical records and as a part of our job. And for many readers, it will be entertainment value, sadly. Some will just switch to issues that have positive mental health outcomes. If you are young, you have a passport, and you have somewhere to go, my advice is to leave, otherwise you just become another tragic statistic of poverty, unemployment, and possibly death in a derelict hospital. Ordinary Africans do not care about who is in power if they have the basic necessities of life. But sadly in Zimbabwe, those necessities will remain out of reach for as long as Mnangagwa and his corrupt cabal are in power. As for the opposition, it is dead. There will be no pushback for reason you all know. You will remember that last year in May, I mentioned that 3 key countries to Zimbabwe's political privately mentioned through their diplomats that as far as they were concerned, 2028 was gone. 2028 was gone. And they were now looking at perhaps 2033 or even beyond to envisage any possibility of a change of government. But as long as Zimbabweans remain fixated on the main actor syndrome and on opposition movement, they must also accept being stuck in the current political ditch for a long time to come. What does this mean? It means more looting. For the diaspora, it means continuing to send money back home for the foreseeable future. The tragedy that is Zimbabwean citizens continue to look for a real figure, for a hero figure, rather than building a durable collective movement that outlasts individual egos. Until that changes, power will remain concentrated in the hands of whoever seizes the moment, no matter how corrupt or undemocratic they are, like Mnangagwa. For foreign diplomats, it simply means accepting that they now must work with the government of the day, no matter how corrupt it is, with no hope of any change, unless there is a dramatic intervention that puts an end to the current political rot. For General Constantino Chiwenga, it means kissing goodbye to his dream of becoming president. He must now tighten his security and pray that Mnangagwa does not make the unstrategic mistake of firing him, because he might not be able to fight back. If he still has the appetite for his job, he has to fight for it by coming out of the shadows. Otherwise, he will meet the same fate that destroyed Joyce Mujuru. Comment section.